Well, speaking of dreams, how is your stock portfolio doing? For many, it's gone from sweet stock dreams to nightmares, all in the course of a couple of weeks. In this morning's U.S. Bank Economic 360, U.S. Bank Vice President and Senior Portfolio Manager Mike Denneman has an insight on this quick reversal. He's in the studio with Business Courier editor Rob Dahlmeyer. Rob and Mike.
Peg, thanks. Mike, thanks for being here.
Morning.
Well, the market had been on a roll all year, setting record highs, but all of a sudden it's lost all its gains and is actually even flirting with being underwater for the year.
Right.
What happened?
Right. Well, you're exactly correct. It was just a few weeks ago that the market seemed like it was on complete cruise control. You know, every day we're hearing about a new record high close and another and another. So, you know, that's an exciting period, but it can also sort of lull you into this false sense of security that there's nothing out there that's going to derail the bull market, when in reality we know there's quite a few things to be concerned about. Just a short list includes the Fed and higher interest rates, geopolitical worries about Ukraine or the Middle East, and not to mention we're right in the middle of summer, which historically has been a very difficult time for stocks. So you roll all that together and what you find is, you know, there are plenty of things out there just waiting to trip up the market. So really, it was probably just a matter of time.
So maybe an obvious question, but maybe not. Was this a surprise? I mean, you just mentioned all these reasons why you can point to the drop, but that doesn't mean anybody thought it was going to happen.
Right. Well, you know, believe it or not, we were actually, and still are, a little bit overdue for a significant market pullback. So the market the last few years has been on a great run, but the trend during that time has been very linear, and by that I mean the trend has been almost straight upward, and we know that the market doesn't typically operate that way. Usually there's a lot more peaks and valleys along the way. So to put that in some perspective, historically the market has experienced a significant pullback on average about once a year. With this bull market, we're now almost 3 years without having one of these so-called corrections. So talk about being on borrowed time, right? So even though that's the case, we still shouldn't be fearful of a so-called correction because, you know, it's not as if we're, you know, facing a bubble type situation. It's not as if we're looking for a bear market around the corner. But at the same time, when the market has gone so far, so fast, sometimes it just needs to take a pause and catch its breath.
So you're saying I shouldn't get all my money out of the market, dig a hole in my backyard, but is there anything I should change or anything that the viewers should change as far as what kind of investments they're making in the market?
Well, you know, there are, as we noted just a moment ago, there are plenty of reasons to be cautious right now. The Fed, international politics. We've got an election of our own here in just 2 months. That's a very major event that could certainly dial up some of this uneasiness right now that the market is experiencing. But at the same time, I don't feel that there's any reason to panic. This isn't 2008 all over again. You know, the fundamentals of the market are very solid. Corporations have very strong balance sheets right now. Stocks aren't wildly overpriced. So, you know, I don't think that, you know, we should be overly concerned. I think if we do have a correction, it's likely to be short-term in nature. So maybe this might provide a long-term opportunity because, again, oftentimes these healthy pauses in the market simply set up stocks to go higher in the long term.
Yeah, great information. I think you hit it on the head. If you look at most public companies right now, they do have really strong cash positions. So we'll see what happens. But thanks for being here.